Hi, welcome. In this series of tutorial, I will be using something called a neat stack to show you how to build a web application. Um, you may not have heard of neat stack. So what is neat stack? So neat stack is a group of technologies for building a full stack application, or not full stack, but both front end and back end. So on the back end, you have Nest.js and Express. Nest sits on top of Express, and on the front end, we will be using Angular. Both Nest and Angular uses TypeScript for development. What is really neat, or what is really nice about Neat Stack, is that besides using one language, TypeScript in this case, to develop both the front end and the back end, uh, Angular and Nest.js also shares a lot of concepts in their framework. Concepts like services, components, pipes, etc. So you can use the same paradigm, the same concept when you are when you're building out your application, which we'll see in this tutorial. I assume that most of you are familiar with JavaScript development, but if you haven't, these are the tools that will be using or you'll be needing. You're going to need Node.js, which you can download from here. You're going to need the Angular CLI, and you're going to need the Nest JS CLI. We won't be developing creating Nest.js so soon. So you'll be much later in the tutorial. You'll be needing. You'll also need Git, which is for cloning the repository. And for this tutorial, I'll be using Visual Studio Code. So if you want to, use Visual Studio Code, please go ahead and download. Otherwise, you're free to use, any other IDE, like Eclipse or WebStorm or even a plain editor like VI. The repository is available here, which I have downloaded. So what I suggest you do is that before you continue, if you haven't installed any of this, I suggest that you pause the video and then you go and download and make sure that you've got all this before you continue. So once you have downloaded all these tools, uh, what you will need to do is this: you will create a directory. So in my case, I have cloned this repository here along with the README. So before we start, let's do a check of the tools. So Node. So the Node version, I'm using the latest version 14.1, and then we will have ng version. So this is the Angular CLI, okay, and then we will also have Nest version, okay, oops, version, okay, so that's 7.1, and then of course Git, okay. Okay, so let's start by creating a simple. Let's start by creating the Angular application first. So to create the Angular application, we will use the Angular CLI, so ng new, and I'll call the application front end. Okay, so it's going to ask you a series of questions. Like, do you want to add routing? We'll be adding routing. This is for single page application. Instead of getting the tool to generate for us, I want to show you, routing. Any of the CSS tools that you want to use. So we'll just use plain CSS, and then it's going to now start installing the package. It can take a while because Angular download quite a bit. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll return when the installation completes. Okay, Angular has completed installing the application. Created a new application. So if you see, we have a new application here, and I'll go into the front end. So that's the name of the application, and the ng CLI has installed a whole bunch of things for us. One thing before I start is this: I don't like lint, so I'm going to I'll keep it here just in case you guys like it, but I'm going to rename this to __ lint. Okay, __ lint. So let's open this project up. Let's open this Angular application in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so that's open up. So the Angular application is inside here. So this is the main file. You haven't seen an Angular application. So this is the main file. It's got something called the app root. The app root is basically this component. Okay, we'll get more into this. So it's basically this component. So this app root. So it's basically this page. So what you can do is we just want to have a look at this application, and you can actually run it by just going ng serve. And the first time it's going to run a little bit, it's going to take a little bit longer to run because it needs to compile the application. The really nice thing about ng-serve is that it will watch your application. As you make changes, it will update and refresh your browser. Okay, so it's completed. So it's running on the port is 4200. So we can go and open the link. And this is the standard Angular application. It's here. It's here. Oops. It's here. So this is the application. Uh, to start off, what we're going to do is this. We are going to remove this application, and we're just going to put a simple hello world. For our project, we will be using both Bootstrap and Font Awesome. So you can get the Bootstrap CDN. You can download Bootstrap from the CDN, Bootstrap CDN. You can get it from here, this one. So you can get the Bootstrap from here, right? You can also similarly get, oops. You can also similarly get the Bootstrap and Font Awesome from here. Okay, so to add these two CSS, what you want to do is this. You would want to go to, we will add it to the global CSS, so the Angular's global CSS, which is this here, CSS. So it's under app here. Okay, so you can say like import, and then we can copy the CSS here. So let's copy this guy. So I'll paste it here, and then I will also do import, and then we'll similarly I'll do the I've got Font Awesome. I will do the Bootstrap. Also get Bootstrap. Okay, so let's get the CSS for Bootstrap. Let's get all of it. So we can install that, both of those guys here. Okay, so we can go back to our HTML page. Okay, and we can delete everything, and then we can now just say, I want h1 code hello world. Oops, h1 code. Then we can say hello world. Okay, like that. Maybe I'll just do like this. Okay, hello world, like that. So as you know, to use Bootstrap, you need to have the page inside a container, the container. So I'm going to put the container here. Okay, like that. And what hopefully we'll now see is that this is so we are now applying the bootstrap style inside a container into this element. So this is the element. So this is the container inside app root, and so this is app root, right? So let's check out our font awesome. So font awesome will be FAS. So we want the FA globe Asia like that. So now we have the globe. So let's put a little space on top. We do not want it to be too close to the edge. We can do this. Okay, like that. So no changes yet. So we can add. This is from Bootstrap. We will add a margin on top, and now so there's a little bit of margin. Okay, so we've got our we've set up our project, and I will stop here, and then we will resume. We will carry on from here in the next tutorial. So just before I end, I will check in the code. I'll push the code in, and so that you can have a look at it. Okay, so git add git status git commit. So I will just say this is part 1. Okay, so in the next tutorial, we will use Bootstrap to build out a form. What we are going to build is we will be building a very simple Trello Kanban type of environment, which is really a to-do list in disguise. Okay, so see you guys in my next tutorial.